Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage with part 3 of a 3-part video series on USDA important credit eligibility requirements. Now just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of USDA guidelines. Also, this video was issued on June 26, 2018, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. In parts 1 and 2 of this video series, we went over the general credit requirements and non-traditional credit. Let's take a look at when the USDA will allow for credit exceptions. So credit exceptions, they're typically at the lender's discretion and do not require the agency to concur with their exception. So in other words, in order to grant an exception, the lender doesn't need to get permission from USDA ahead of time. That'll happen when they submit the file. The applicant must be able to explain and document the reasons for the derogatory credit, and they must also show that they had no other reasonable alternatives other than defaulting on their debt due to whatever happened. The lender may not, however, grant any credit exceptions if the borrower has federal or other tax debt. So let's talk about the exceptions. They're allowed in 2 situations. First, if it's due to a temporary situation. Second, if it reduces housing expenses. So let's take a look at each one of these. For temporary situation, that can also be known as extenuating circumstances. So the lender would need to validate and document that the credit issues were due to circumstances that were temporary in nature, beyond the applicant's control, and have been since resolved or removed in the most recent 12 months prior to the application. So some examples of a temporary situation may be a job loss, delay or reduction in benefits. Maybe they are getting Social Security income and there was a delay in their benefits which caused them to go late on some of their debt. A major illness, or dispute over payment for defective goods or services, natural disasters. The key is, and this is certainly not an all-inclusive list, the key is that the lender will need to document that the borrower's credit before the incident or the temporary situation happened was acceptable, and then clearly show that because of the temporary situation, the credit became derogatory, but then show that it has been resolved or removed within the last 12 months. So there has to be a very clear path that the lender can document. Now, the second type of exception would be for reduced housing expense. So if you have a situation where doing the loan for the borrower is going to significantly lower their housing expenses, which is going to allow them to pay their debt better or more easily, in this case, they may make an exception. They specifically state that significantly lower is something like 50% or more. So if you've got a situation where maybe the borrower is going from an ARM to a fixed rate USDA loan, it's going to reduce their payment by more than 50%. It's going to give them excess funds to pay off debt. They may consider an exception in that case. All right, that concludes our 3-part video series. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org to look for their weekly mortgage video tips designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, loan officers, processors, closers, and post-closers. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.